Ravindra, a teacher in English working at ZPHS Khankuru of Settur Mandal from Anantapur district. Dear students, we have learned Nelson Mandela's thoughts on freedom and sacrifices of the African people during the apartheid in the first module. Now, let us see how a tiger becomes powerless in the zoo in an interesting poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. Let's see overview of the poem.
Overview of the model. Before you read, thinking about the text, which includes grammar and vocabulary, speaking, writing, and then A Tiger in the Zoo, a poem. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to use the definite article with names, understand the definition of idiomatic expressions and its usage, express your views on the given topic, get the knowledge of contrasts from the examples, discuss the color prejudice in our country, recite a poem and explanation. Before you read, do you know the articles uses with names? Can you say a few idiomatic expressions? Have you ever heard about homophones? Use the definite article with names. Normally, the definite article the is not used before proper nouns, nor do proper nouns usually occur in the plural. Example, the Nelson Mandela or Nelson Mandelas. Observe the sentence below. The decades of oppression and brutality produced the Oliver Tambos, the Walter Sislus of time. Note: the definite article the is used before a singular or plural noun when both the speaker and the listener know exactly what is being referred to. Using the definite article with names. Exercise. Try to say what these sentences mean which are used the with proper nouns. Example 1. Mr. Singh regularly invites the Amitabh Bachchans and the Shah Rukh Khans to his parties. This means that Mr. Singh regularly invites famous personalities as of the caliber of Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan to his parties. Example number 2. Many people think that Madhuri Dixit is the Madhubala of our times. This means that Madhuri Dixit is compared to the landmark acting of the legendary actress Madhubala. Example number 3. History is not only the story of the Alexanders, the Napoleons, and the Hitlers, but of ordinary people as well. This means that history is not only the story of the greatest fighters and leaders such as Alexander, Napoleon, and Hitler, but also of ordinary people. Idiomatic expressions. Idiomatic expressions, or simply idioms, is a phrase whose meaning is different from the individual words that make it up. Now, match the italicized phrases in column A with the phrase nearest in meaning in column B. In column A, I was not unmindful of the fact. When my comrades and I were pushed to our limits. In column B, had not forgotten, was aware of the fact, was not careful about the fact, forgot or was not aware of the fact, pushed by the guards to the wall, took more than our share of beatings, felt that we could not endure the suffering any longer. Column A. To reassure me and keep me going. The basic and honorable freedoms of earning my keep. In column B, make me go on walking. Help me continue to live in hope in this very difficult situation. Make me remain without complaining. Earning enough money to live on, keeping what I earned, getting a good salary. Answers. I was not unmindful of the fact, which means had not forgotten, was aware of the fact. When my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, it means felt that we could not endure the suffering any longer. To reassure me and keep me going, it means help me continue to live in hope in this very difficult situation. The basic and honorable freedoms of earning my keep. It means earning enough money to live on. Speaking. Discuss the issues suggested below and prepare a speech about 2 minutes on the following topic. Number 1. Causes of poverty and means of overcoming it. Number 2. Discrimination based on gender, religion, class, etc. Third one. Constitutionally guaranteed human rights. Writing. Looking at contrast. Use the following phrases to complete the sentences given below. They can be taught love. I was born free, but the triumph over it. But he who conquers that fear to create such heights of character. It requires such depths of oppression. Courage was not the absence of fear. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid. If people can learn to hate, I was not born with hunger to be free. Answers. It requires such a depth of oppression to create such heights of character. Courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. If people can learn to hate, they can be taught love. I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free. This text repeatedly contrasts the past with the present or the future. We can use coordinated clauses to contrast two views for emphasis or effect. Given below are sentences carrying one part of the contrast. Find the second part of the contrast from the text and complete each of them. For decades, the Union buildings had been the seat of white supremacy, and now, only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and police saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Not so many years before, they would not have saluted. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem. They would soon. Fourth one. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil. The air show was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but it was this desire for the freedom of my people that transformed into a bold one, that drove to become a criminal, that turned into a man without a home. Answers. For decades, the Union buildings had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic, non-racial government. Second one. Only moments before, the highest general of the South African Defence Force and police saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Not so many years before, they would not have saluted but arrested me. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem, they would soon know the words by heart. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest diamonds. The air show was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. It was this desire for the freedom of my people that transformed a frightened young man into a bold one, that drove a law abiding attorney to become a criminal, that turned a family loving husband into a man without a home. Expressing your opinion. Do you think there is color prejudice in your country? Discuss this with your friend and write a paragraph of about 100 to 150 words about this. You have the option of making your paragraph a humorous one. When you were born, you were pink. When you grew up, you became white. When you are in the sun, you are red. When you are sick, you are yellow. When you are angry, you are purple. When you are shocked, you are grey. And you have the cheek to call me colored. Homophones, words that are spelt similarly and sometimes even pronounced similarly but have very different meaning. The bandage was wound around the wound. The soldier decided to desert his desert in the desert. Now let's have a poem here. The title of the poem is A Tiger in the Zoo. Let us know about the author. Name of the author is George Leslie Norris, was a prize-winning poet and a short story writer. He was born on 21st May 1921 in United Kingdom. Norris is considered one of the most important writers of the post-war period, and his literary publications have won many prizes. He was died on 6th April 2006.
He stalks in the vivid stripes. The few steps of his cage. On pads of velvet quiet. In his quiet rage.
Let's have a look at the glossary. Stalks, it means to move silently in a threatening way. Vivid, deep or bright and clear. Stripes, it means long narrow bands different in color. Pad, it means cushion. Quiet, it means soft and making no noise. Raise, it means anger. Explanation of the first stanza is: the poet sees a tiger locked in a zoo. The tiger can hardly take a few steps along the length of the cage. The sharp and clear stripes on his body are of strong bright color. His pads are velvet soft. He is full of rage, but is quiet because he knows that he is helpless here. Now let's have some assessment questions here. The first question is: how does the tiger move in the cage? Option A: the tiger moves very slowly and quietly in a threatening way. Option B: the tiger moves very fast and quietly. Option C: the tiger moves very lazily. Option D: the tiger moves very happily. Yes, what is the right answer here? And the right answer is: the tiger moves very slowly and quietly in a threatening way. Let's have the second question here. Who is he here? Option A: the poet. Option B: the visitor. Option C: the tiger. Option D: the owner. And the right answer is: the tiger is referred as he here. Well done, my dear students. Now let's see the third question. What is the rhyme scheme of this stanza? ABED, BCDA, ABCD, ACBD. What is the right answer? Yes, the right answer is ABCD. Well done, dear students.
He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole, where plump deer pass.
Let's see the glossary of this second stanza. Lurking, it means lie hidden and wait or sneak. Sliding, it means gliding. Plump, it means fat and fleshy, chubby. Pass, it means move. Explanation of the second stanza is, the poet says that the poor tiger should have been in his natural habitat, which means in the jungle, hunting and resting. Then at this hour of the night, he would have been lying in the shadows of trees and sliding quietly through the long grass. He would then, near the water hole, wait for some fat and healthy deer to pass that way. Now let's look at some assessment questions here. Where should he be lurking? A. In the shadows of the house, in the shadows of the wall, in the shadows of the forest, and the last option is in the shadows of the cage. What is your answer? Yes, the right answer is in the shadows of the forest. Well done, dear students. Now let's have the second question here. Who would pass through the water hole? A plump deer, B, a plump pig, a fat fox, fat wolf. What is the right answer? Yes, the right answer is A, plump deer.
He should be snarling around houses, at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village.
Let's have a look at the glossary of this third stanza. Snarl means to growl with bared teeth. Edge, it means boundary. Baring, it means showing, revealing or uncovering. Fangs means canine teeth. Claws, it means pointed horny nails on an animal's foot. Terrorizing, it means frightening. Now let's see the explanation of this stanza. The poet imagines what the tiger would be doing in case he failed to find any prey in his natural habitat. He says that the tiger would be angrily moving around houses in a nearby village. He would be growling at the edge of the jungle near some village. He would be showing his white fangs and terrible claws while moving here and there. He would thus become a cause of terror for the villagers. Let's have some assessment questions here. The first question is, what does the poet try to suggest through these lines? A. Be happy. B. The tiger should be allowed to live in his natural habitat. C. Sing a song. And D. The tiger felt happy. What is the right answer here? And the right answer is the tiger should be allowed to live in his natural habitat. Now let's have the second question here. Why does he snarl? A. To show his happiness, to show his hunger, to show his joy, to show his anger and helplessness. Yes, the right answer is D. To show his anger and helplessness. Very good.
But he's locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors.
Let's have glossary here. Locked, it means caught or kept inside or behind. Cell, it means very small room or cage. Stalks, it means to move silently in a threatening way. Ignoring, it means avoiding, taking no notice knowingly. Now see the explanation here. The poet sees the tiger is locked in a concrete cell in the zoo. In spite of all his strength, he now lies imprisoned behind the bars. Very slowly and silently, the tiger moves up and down along the length of the cage. He moves in an angry and threatening manner. He takes no note of the visitors who had come to the zoo to have a look at him. Now let's have some assessment questions here. Why does the tiger ignore the visitors? A. Because none of them look at him. Because none of them tries to help him out of the prison. Because none of them take care of him. Because none of them talk to him. The right answer is yes, because none of them tries to help him out of the prison. Now let's have the second question. What is the tiger doing in the cage? A. Jumping happily in the cage. Fighting in the cage. C. Running in the cage. And the last option, moving slowly and quietly along the length of the cage. What is the right answer here from these four options? Yes, the right answer is moving slowly and quietly along the length of the cage. Well done, dear students. Now let's have one more question. What is the poetic device used in this stanza? A. Metaphor. B. Personification. C. Simile. And D. Alliteration. What is the poetic device used in this stanza, dear students? Yes, the right answer is alliteration.
He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars.
Now let's see the glossary. Patrol, which means act of walking or roaming around a specific area in order to protect it. Stare, look fixedly at something with open eyes. Brilliant, which means beautifully shining. Let's see the explanation here. Due to the visitors, the tiger gets no rest during the day. Even at night, he remains disturbed due to the noise that comes from the patrolling cars. The tiger has thus lost all hope and feels very helpless. He thus stares at the brilliant stars shining bright in the sky. It seems that he is looking for some sort of comfort and hope in these stars. His brilliant eyes show that he still hopes for the day when he would be able to run free in the forest and live in natural surroundings. Let's see some assessment questions here. What does tiger do at night? A. The tiger sleeps at night. B. The tiger watches stars at night. C. The tiger plays at night. And D. The tiger walks at night. What is the right answer here? Yes, the tiger watches stars at night. Question number 2. What are the cars doing? A. The cars are patrolling the area. B. Racing. C. Playing. D. Jumping in the air. The right answer is the cars are patrolling the area. Now let's have the third question. What is the poetic device used in this stanza? Alliteration, repetition, metaphor, and simile. The right answer is repetition. The poetic device used in this stanza is repetition. Right answer. Summary of the poem. Poet is describing the tiger as being powerless and agonized. K's life has totally changed his personality. Thus, the intention of the poet is to say that the animal, famous for its fearlessness and freedom, is confined and sad only due to human beings. Thinking about the poem. Read the poem again and work in pairs or groups to do the following tasks. Find the words that describe the movements and actions of the tiger in the cage and in the wild. Movements and actions of tiger in the cages are stalking, ignoring, staring, hearing. Movements and actions of the tiger in the wild: lurking, snarling, bearing, terrorizing. Find the words that describe the two places and arrange them in two columns. Places in the cage: concrete cell, behind bars, places in the wild, shadow, grass, water, whole jungle's edge. Read the following poems. The Tiger. The tiger behind the boards of his cage growls. The tiger behind the boards of his cage snarls. The tiger behind the boards of his cage roars. Then he thinks, it would be nice not to be behind the boards all the time because they spoil my view. I wish I were wild, not on show, but if I were wild, hunters might shoot me. But if I were wild, food might poison me. But if I were wild, water might drown me. Then he stops thinking, and the tiger behind the bars of his cage growls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage snarls. The tiger behind the bars of his cage roars. And the writer of this poem is Peter Niblet, the panther. His vision from the constantly passing bars has grown so weary that it cannot hold anything else. It seems to him there are 1,000 bars, and behind the bars no world. As he paces in cramped circles over and over, the movement of his powerful soft strides is like a ritual dance around a center, in which a mighty will stands paralyzed. Only at times the curtain of the pupils lifts quietly. An image enters in, rushes down through the tensed, arrested muscles, plunges into the heart and is gone. And the writer of this poem, Panther, is Rainer Maria Rilke. Read the following two poems, one about a tiger and other about a panther. Then discuss. Are zoos necessary for protection or conservation of some species of animals? Are they useful for educating the public? Are there alternatives to zoos? Answer is the zoo is a necessary place for some animals to stay safe as they could be hunted down, poisoned by some wild food, or could drown in water in the forest. They also create awareness among the public about the nature of animals and make people friendly with animals. However, a zoo is not the correct substitute for a forest. In a zoo, an animal would feel restricted, and it is for this reason that wildlife sanctuaries are better places for national endangered species. These places provide protection as well as natural surroundings to these species. They can roam around freely in their habitat and safe too. The public can visit these parks and get educated about the animals and their lifestyle. The parks and sanctuaries are run using a strict set of rules, the most prominent being the ban on hunting. Since the animals are in the open, visitors are not allowed to feed them and would not misbehave or try to play with them as they are under strict guidance. Such incidents have been recorded in zoos where people irritate and tease the animals. Hence, a wildlife sanctuary is a good alternative for animals to be safe as well as to live freely in their natural surroundings. Greater cats. The greater cats with golden eyes stare out between the bars. Deserts are there and different skies, and night with different stars. Victoria Sackville West. Thank you for this opportunity.